I didn't think I'd again in my life be able to make cool culture shock videos because I would be living in Japan, and that part of the experience uh, had come to its end long, long ago. But now I'm living in Thailand, so these were one of my favorite videos because it's logging your experience of when you first get here, because that's when you get all of this culture shock. Obviously, culture shock comes in two forms. You can have culture shock that's awesome, and you can have culture shock that is less than ideal, things that don't brighten your day as much. But since being here now about, I guess, just slightly over 1 month, I can say that the majority of the culture shock is in the higher range of extremely sweet and awesome. Base purchases in convenience stores, where if you want to get something affordable, you can easily find a drink or some item of food that probably costs about 6 baht, which the conversion, I do it to yen, but it's kind of like Canadian dollars, is that 100 baht is $4. So you can times everything by 4. You've got many items that cost about 6 baht, so that's 6, 12, 18, 24. Yeah, it's incredibly cheap to buy the basic amenities. Whereas I think of going back to Canada the last time I did, and in a vending machine you would see most drinks are not less than, I'll probably even get it wrong, but it's just so insane how high it is now. It's like $2.10 or like $3 for a Powerade or like whatever pop or soda you're going to get. Whereas here you're like, that was 40 cents. That was one, base affordability of items when you are getting things at the convenience store, that now that portion of life's cost is just nothing. It doesn't have to drain you so ridiculously anymore. The streets, crossing the streets is a thing here where obviously on a larger highway you would never just walk across a street, but on, you know, narrower, still city, but like narrower streets, you would expect to be able to cross at some point, but there is almost none of that. And it's like, if a crosswalk is there, that is like, those are just colors on the road. That does not mean anyone is going to stop for you. But the whole behavior on the road it is distinctly culturally different and shocking to me as compared to Japan, as compared to Canada, any place that I've seen driving before, where, for example, like, there's this additional danger that you don't have a proper place to cross the street. But if you have confidence and step out, way more people simply slow down here for people entering into those kinds of situations. And so it seems, in a bizarre kind of like paradox, it's like way more dangerous that you have to do it, but then people are like also way more aware. And so what appears to be aggressive or like, you know, dangerous by another standard is like, oh no, they know what's going on. Like, people step out into the road here and they try and make themselves be seen, and then people slow down for them. Where, yeah, I was like, okay, in day 1 and day 2, there, you have to like, you feel so stupid. You're like, okay, get used to crossing the road. But it works. It's got an edge to it though, because it is more dangerous, but if you do it in the right way, you are still totally safe. So that, let's say that's number 2, just like navigating the traffic, and that's like me barely scratching the surface of that. It's, I guess we could go into this next thing as related to that. There's services called like Grab and InDrive and Bolt, and all of them are like different, you know, Uber companies that will deliver and like take you places, and it is insanely affordable. Like, this is where we talk about this cost of living in something like I've never seen before. Yeah, the price to go 30 minutes in a cab is something, you know, it'll be like $6 for these colossal, huge, long rides, but now they're suddenly like way more affordable, and like public transit is way less packed full because you have these other more affordable means for people to go on, so they don't all have to go on the public transit. But then that leads into the craziness on the roads of like the incredibly affordable bikes that you can hop on for 20 baht to take you many places at great distance again. And it's like almost $1, almost costs $1. But that is taking your life in your own hands. I'm like, I don't know if I could hop on one of these things. Just think about taking a corner, no helmet, and pop, there goes the old noggin. But the ease with which you see people who are native here ride them is so inspiring. You see like chicks, you see women riding on the sides of these things, and they're not riding like, you know, holding on to the driver at all. They're like sideways, barely one hand on the bike, and their phones out. And I'm like, oh man. It's cool. They got a real style, but I don't think I would be doing that anytime soon. As well, food tied into that too, so that you can get ridiculous cheap delivery to your home. Pad Thai for, again, something like $2. The delivery is nothing. It changes. I could see why obesity would be a problem here, because what is it? Victory has defeated you. Like, that's the kind of eating situation you could enter into here if you were careless. Coming to Thailand, they have with every single kind of small to large bank, and there's a lot of them, that's notable. There are so many banks in Thailand. They give you access to, when you use their accounts, a QR system, which is that anybody who has a bank account can have a QR code associated with that account. And built into their apps is the ability to scan that QR code and direct transfer to that person's account, whatever QR code you've scanned, and vice versa. They could return any money to you, and it just unlocks the economy, I think, for a lot of people, to do away with so much needless extra organization to start receiving funds in a convenient way for the customer, and so on. And when you get that, when you unlock that and you get your bank account set up here, and you're now able to use the QR code, it is a wonderful feeling and a kind of convenience I haven't had in any country until now. So that was a really, that was notable once we arrived. I think it's cool here, you feel it very quickly as soon as you're living, is the way that you access food. I said it, obviously, if you want to order, like, that's a totally different thing, but the way that you'd access food if you were cooking for yourself is I think in a healthier form still here, this is a cool thing, is that if you were to buy vegetables, when you look around for supermarkets, you're like, oh, okay, there's like, interestingly, a Lotus, which is apparently a brand from like the UK, and you know, like these other ones, there's a few groceries, but you go in and they're pretty like low stocked, and you're like, okay, well, how do people do their grocery shopping here? It's market based, and like, I've managed to find a few markets around where I live, and it's a hyper social, great value, connected experience to what it is that you're going to eat, and I think superior, like, that you have, as opposed to, I mean, if you want complete solitary experience of shopping, then the West can be good at that, but it's cool when your shopping experiences involve like 9 different social interactions with people, or at least at this point, maybe in the excitement of first arriving, but I liked that it felt, as I said, more connected. And I think a cool way to source your food, you go to markets rather than supermarkets, and the personal element is better, and the prices are basically better too. So that makes it an easy win. All right, there you have it. I wanted to make a quick, spicy culture shock video, since I haven't been able to in quite some time. Have you moved recently? Are you experiencing culture shock? Reverse culture shock? That's one of the most fun. Let me know. Let's have a chat in the comments down below. I hope you're doing well. I'm posting across all other social media. Check out the business at aboutchronicle.com, or if you want to check out actually using our product, the new AI assistant for tabletop games, radiantassistant.com. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.